What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be doing another French drain. We had them already come out, mark everything out. French drain's going to be coming all the way down the house, down the side to a pop-up or a grate. We haven't decided yet. We're going to have our level down. We're going to be running the downspouts out into it as well. We're going to have to come over here, take off the back. Got to take off this fence here. French drain is going to continue to go all the way around, pretty much over half of his house. We're gonna have it be going straight up and down here. He's gonna be redoing this patio, so we're gonna have it stopping right here because this problem that he has, his water is coming from all his neighbors, and as you can see, the ground slope just from here and rolling all the way into his house, getting water into his garage. We're also going to be repairing this and burning the downspouts out correctly, putting this pump line, this sump pump, into our downspout extensions as well, and facilitating them down the hill in the front of the house. Now, as we're raking back his rock here before we start digging, so that way we can try to reuse his rock to make it look like we were never here on this side. Well, they had some areas that had filter cloth down, but other areas they had plastic. This is not what you use as a weed barrier, because as you can see, it's already bad enough his yard slopes everywhere, but any water that's hitting it or running off from the neighbors or anything else is going to be sitting right on top of it, not be able to soak into the ground, and continue rolling all the way until it's no longer there, which, as you can see in this case, it goes all the way up to his house. So now the water has a channel to just roll on all the way to his house. So please do not use plastic as a weed barrier. Here's a perfect example of how not to run your downspouts or tie your pump station into it. Look at that trip factor there. Look at that. And exposed all above the ground going around. Looks so ugly. It's gonna look so much better when we're done. Now the front left of his house, this is where the downspouts and French drain will end up coming out at the end. So the water will travel from all the way around the house, come out here, and then just facilitate down this short hill to the street. And now we have to move all that rock. But here's the trench. It goes all the way around the house. We're going to be tying the downspouts into it. This is all solid pipe from the fence to here. This is going to be solid as well. Make sure, again, when you're digging, always have a mark out. We did find the gas line. It was only like 6 to 8 inches deep. So we're glad we stayed away from it with the machine. This is all going to be French drain from here all the way around. Is all going to be perforated pipe. So that way he no longer has water coming in from all around the neighbor's house going into his basement. As you can see from all the wet spots here, this is where all the water would pile up. We're also running this downspout out into the French drain as well. And this is going to be the beginning way over here. So this is almost a full perimeter French drain. Only where it doesn't go is down this side, but this is where we're going to be tying in his downspouts and his sump pump. Whoever did that right there, it just looks horrible. We're going to actually go inside, cut it off, shove a new piece in, and just have it so it's just straight 90 down, 90 into the converter, into the T, going all the way out to the front where that pop-up emitter is. Now that we have it all dug out, before we go ahead and put filter cloth down or anything, we have to do our test run to make sure everything is going downhill. So we put the pipe in the trench everywhere. And as you can see, the bubble is completely downhill. So literally when it hits that corner down here, it's just gonna flood all the way down out at the end to the pop-up. And now we test it in 20-foot sections, because a 10-foot section can sometimes give you a semi-false reading, especially when it's a long run like this. You can see up here, it's also completely downhill. And then we have it all the way to where the actual corner is. So once again, all the water is going to run straight off from all around him, come down into the trench. Go ahead and put the level down here. And as you can see, we have downhill level, which is exactly what we want. So it all collects here, goes to this corner. As soon as it hits this corner, it's just going to rock it all the way out to the street. All right, now we have it all piped up. It's gonna come out to the pop-up, the French drain, the downspouts. Everything's gonna run right here. As you can see, Everything is completely downhill, basically from the corner of this house all the way down. So as soon as it hits that corner, everything's gonna rush. We hook this up. When the downspout starts kicking in water, since it's already right here, it's gonna go straight in and just push straight out all the way down here at the end. We have the same thing. The filter cloth stops here. We switch over from perforated to solid. Keeping down here, we repaired all the sprinkler lines that we had broken in the process of digging. We have solid teed in here because it's another downspout. We have it going all the way here. He has a patio here, so there's not much we could do about that. So we had to 90 down, over and down. And in the future, if he ever cuts this out or changes it, we can always come back and make it so it doesn't look like this anymore. But this is how it's gonna be. And all we have to do is rock it and then show everybody that it works. And this is the end. Here it is. As you can see, the French drain, downspouts, everything tied in is coming out. Water facilitating, and will go down the hill. It will no longer be going into his basement or building up on his back porch, his patio, going into his house. I made all this solid here. And then everything from the fence back is all perforated. We're leaving it like this because he's going to later on get decorative stone and extra stuff that he wants to put on top of it all. We went ahead and put everything back over there that we could. I think he's gonna end up getting more of the same from there and just going around his whole patio all the way to the fence. That's it. Another job well done by Stafford Park Drainage and Water Solutions. And here's the back right of his house. We have it all dug out now. We just got done removing the old sump pump line, repairing it on the inside, have it set up to go down and tie into the downspouts, to go out to the front, tie into the other downspout, and they're gonna go out to a pop-up emitter in the front of the yard. Also, please remember when you are tying a sump pump into the downspout line, you have to glue it. Okay, you wanna make sure, because this is pressurized coming out of the house and going into the connections, you wanna make sure everything is glued. Dry fit it first, then you glue it after. And here is the back right side all piped up. Got the sump pump tied in. Everything is in beautifully. And it all slopes downhill towards the front to tie into the front right and go out to a pop-up emitter. Now that we have everything dug out, this is the front right. We're gonna be having all these downspouts and the sump pump connected up, going all the way down to a pop-up emitter right in here. And that will facilitate all of the water from his downspouts from the front right, all the way down the hill. And here's the front right of the house. Everything from the back right with the sump pump, everything comes straight down, all the way up to this pop-up emitter. As you can see, we have it downhill. So everything's gonna flow very nicely. So it looks like in the end. This one I did actually end up turning the Y on the outside, only because he's got a fence here, he's got bushes going in here. If he ever needs to clean anything out, having it the other way wouldn't be very efficient, considering you'll be inside the bush. So this makes his life a lot easier. That's it. Next thing to show is the French drain, everything working. And here's the front right, as you can see. Now the water comes out of here. We have two downspouts and the sump pump hooked up to it. All the water runs in, facilitates out here, and will drain all the way down the hill. Another job well done.